Welcome again, everyone. I'm really happy you all could come, especially in yoga's down season, also known as August. It's been a really great experience so far, and yeah, quite a journey for me personally as well, learning and teaching and all of it. So just a few quick words about Kundalini yoga again. Kundalini refers to what we can call the energy of consciousness. So basically, traditionally, Kundalini is often referred to as like almost like a serpent curled at the base of the spine. And that serpent represents all of our untapped potential, dormant energy, all this kind of potential to become our best, most intuitive selves, our most energized selves, which sits within each and every one of us, but which often lies dormant and can be activated given certain actions. Kundalini yoga is designed to raise that serpent, raise that energy, however you want to think about it. There are so many different words that can be used to describe raising that energy. So raising it up through the body, raising it up along the spine, raising consciousness so that we're not just becoming healthier physically, but also becoming better human beings. Ultimately, we're more at peace. It's good for us. It's good for the people around us. And so in that way, I often do feel as though Kundalini yoga is has the potential to be a form of social justice. Like if everyone was sitting here focusing on raising their energy, the world would be a different place. So just to put all that out there. Today's practice specifically is called refining. It's not something I would have called it, but this is the traditional title, Refining Sexuality and Spirituality. So I just want to put that out there, and those two words are massive, obviously, and there's probably as many understandings of sexuality and spirituality as there are people on the planet. I think as there should be, naturally. And so basically today's practice is just about, on a physical level, raising the energy of the second chakra. So the second chakra being lower spine, connected to pelvic area, connected to sex organs. So raising that energy up to the higher centers to connect our heart center to our experience of sensuality, sexuality, whatever our relationship happens to be. And, we're all going to have negative aspects, positive aspects of our relationship to sensuality. Some of us have been shaped by trauma. There's all sorts of experiences and factors woven into this. This is just about creating a safe and supportive space to creatively explore that on the mat. To whatever extent you want to, you can also just reject it altogether, and the practice is still going to be very beneficial either way. Just want to put that out there. And yeah, and also just to add that in the world as we know it, the wonderful world outside this room as we know it, the second chakra, our sexuality, our sense of sensuality is so often so imbalanced and overstimulated by the world outside as we know it. And it's hard to have a healthy relationship to that in this world.
It's the first chakra.
So the first, where?
I thought that what you're describing as second.
Yeah, so I originally did too, and still I started studying Kundalini yoga. The first is more at the very, very base of the spine, like also anus area. Second is more like sex organs, a couple vertebrae up the spine. And then third is right below the navel. There's a little bit of confusion around anyway, it doesn't really matter exactly where they are, they're energy centers, but the intention is what matters. So we're focusing on, a lot of Kundalini practices focus on bringing energy up from those lower centers to the higher centers. So that's nothing new, but we're focusing on it with more intentionality today. And yeah, basically there's no right or wrong, there's no judging. Obviously I can't stop you from judging yourself, but the idea is not to sit in judgment of yourself and anything that comes up, but just to observe, to let things change within you, to let them morph, and to just take times out if you don't, there's always a choice in Kundalini yoga. Whatever you happen to tap into is entirely up to you. So putting all of that out there, and we're gonna just land here now and stop thinking too much with our heads about it. And just land with a breathing exercise. So some of you will have done alternate nostril breathing before. So what we're going to do is find a comfy seat. I don't know if you're all comfy already. I like to raise my hips up so that it helps keep my spine straight. You can also alternatively sit on your heels in rock pose. There's even a couple of folded up chairs in the back, and no one ever wants to do it, but there's really no problem at all at any point during the practice with grabbing one of those chairs, and all you really need to do is plant your feet firmly on the ground and make sure your spine is straight. So that's an option at any point, and you can switch your sitting position at any point. So the idea is to sit eyes closed and tuck the chin slightly. And, well, if you need to open your eyes to look at this, you can, but basically we're taking our right thumb, plugging our right nostril, and then inhaling deeply through the left nostril. And then we're plugging the left nostril, with the pinky finger, and exhaling through the right. And then keeping the hand where it is, we're inhaling through the right again. Plugging the right and exhaling through the left. And then keeping the hand where it is, we inhale through the left. Plug the left, exhale through the right. So you're always inhaling through the nostril you just exhaled through, and you're switching at the inhale. So we're going to close our eyes now and continue this at your own pace. We're just going to be here about 2 minutes.
Change or
Okay, so inhaling through the left. Exhaling through the right. Inhaling through the right. Exhaling through the left. And then inhaling through the left again. Yeah. Exercise helps to balance the hemispheres of the brain, cooling, warming, masculine, feminine, sun and moon. On your next inhale, hold the breath in, and still holding the breath in, release your hands down to your knees and slowly exhale through both nostrils. And you can come back to a normal breath. This is a great breath for calming and clearing the nervous system before starting a practice. So we're going to tune into today's practice now with the Adi mantra. I've mentioned in previous practices that the Kundalini yoga, while not a religious practice, is clearly a spiritual one and is influenced by the Sikh faith, which is most evident in a lot of the mantras that we use, which are in the Sikh language of Gurmukhi. And so that's the language of the Adi mantra that we tune in with. And the words are Ong Namo Gurudev Namo, which basically means I bow to the teacher within, I call on my highest consciousness. And I like to go one further just by explaining that what this really means is that we're acknowledging the divine wisdom and intuition, deep intuition that every one of us holds inside us. And that there's no one human being or one guru culture, there's no one guru or human of any kind that is more qualified to access that deep intuition or direct us in our bodies or minds or spirits than ourselves. So that's what we're doing when we chant this. We're going to rub our palms together really quickly. Bring our thumbs to sternum. Sit up straight, tuck the chin slightly, and close your eyes. And we're going to inhale deeply, always through the nose. Exhale. Inhale again. Exhale. And on the third inhale, we'll chant 3 times. If you're not comfortable with it, just listen the first time. Om Namo Gurudev Namo Om Namo Gurudev Namo Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Okay, inhale deeply, hands still at the chest. Hold the breath and set your intention for today's practice, whatever that means to you, whatever form that might take. And then exhale, slowly release as you're ready. Okay. We're going to start now with just a few warm-up exercises. For the first one, you may want to stay seated on your cushion. You may want to get rid of it. I like to get rid of it for spinal flex, but you can see what feels good for you. So we're going to bring our hands to our knees. And basically, as we inhale, we're pressing forward with the chest. There's a natural rock in the pelvis forward as well as we do that. It might be subtle, but it's there. And the chin is slightly tilted up. And then as we exhale, we're arching our back towards the back wall. So inhaling forward, exhaling back. I invite you to close your eyes. And we're here for just a minute. It's always a good idea to warm up the spine before these practices. This exercise gets the spinal fluid moving and also stimulates digestion. And go at your own pace. Slow, rapid, whatever feels good to you. Now, come to straight spine, inhale deeply and hold the breath. Hold, hold, hold. And exhale through the nostrils slowly. Okay. Just remain here for a moment. You might already be beginning to feel some sort of shift in your energy. Okay, we're now going to move to warm-up number 2, which just involves bringing your hands up to your shoulders, fingers in front or thumbs behind. And if this isn't comfortable for whatever reason, it's totally fine to bring your hands here to your chest instead, flat here. And what we're doing is we're inhaling to the left. Sorry, wrong exercise. We're turning to the left. Sorry, we're inhaling to the left and we're exhaling to the right. So inhale left, exhale right. Eyes are closed here also. And go at your own pace. The head, the neck, the torso all move as one piece. Here we're moving the spine in a different way. Stretching the muscles along the vertebrae. Try to keep your hips rooted as you do this movement. Just a few more seconds. Okay, coming to center with your hands still in place. Inhale deeply and hold the breath in. And exhale, release. And bring your hands back down to your knees. Okay. We're going to move now to come onto our hands and knees for a little moment of cat-cow, which I'm sure most of you have done, if not here, then elsewhere. So this is just yet another way of moving the spine around, warming it up. So the wrists are coming beneath our shoulders, and the knees are coming beneath our hip bones. And you probably want to open your fingers as wide as possible. It helps take pressure off the wrists. If your wrists are really fussy, like mine at times, you can come onto your fists instead. Whatever feels better. And so as we inhale, we're dropping the belly and raising the face slightly. As we exhale, arching the back like a cat, up towards the ceiling. Inhale down, exhale up. And we're closing our eyes again here. We're here for just a minute. So great for the internal organs, the spine. Everyone's doing great. Always at your own speed, and if ever you need to pause, you pause anytime during the practice today. So now coming to a flat spine, we inhale deeply once again and hold the breath in. And exhale, release. Now from here, we're going to come into a child's pose for a moment. So child's pose, you can either leave your knees as they are, or if it's more comfortable, you can bring your toes together and open your knees even wider like so, whatever feels better. And bring the forehead down to the earth if you can. Hands out wide in front. Now feel yourself here for a moment. Just sense where you're making contact with the ground. Take a long, deep breath here, in and out. And just feel yourself grounded, stable on the ground at this moment. In all the places you're making contact there. And now we're going to just enter into a very brief little series of movements as our last warm-up exercise. The first of those movements is the one that you're in right now, child's pose. So take a long inhale again and exhale there where you are. And then as we inhale next, we come up onto our knees like this. So if you were like this, you might leave your knees like this. If you were like this, you can leave your knees as they are, whatever works. You inhale, bring your hands up. You might lean back a little too. And then exhale, we're coming to tabletop. And then inhale, we're coming to downward dog. So whatever, if that's accessible to you, yeah. And you don't need to worry about getting the heels down or anything like that. Just come up into a V. And then we are exhaling again into child's pose. So that's the series. Basically, we're exhaling in child's pose. Inhaling as we come onto our knees and lean back. Exhaling into table. And then inhaling as we come up into a V or a downward dog. Exhaling into child's pose. Inhaling up onto the knees, hands to sky. Exhaling into tabletop. And then inhaling into downward dog. So try to do 3 more of those on your own, at your own pace. Yeah. Great. Okay, now whenever you're finished your 3rd cycle, you can come back to child's pose. Take a deep breath here and hold for just a moment before releasing. No rush. Okay. Great job. And now as you're ready, you can slowly work your way back up to a seated position. And for this first one, we're going to start the Kriya now. That was the warm-up. So for the first part of the Kriya, I'm going to recommend not sitting on anything just for this one. Have a sip of water, yeah, if you need. So the first part of this Kriya, and again, this is all about being able to explore whatever element of your own relationship to sexuality, sensuality, spirituality, as interwoven together, as you understand them. I say sensuality too more broadly because sensuality is of the senses. It's anything to do with our own relationship with our senses can be more broad as well. So just putting all of that out there, this is ultimately a creative practice and you can choose to take from it what you will. So this first exercise is a little bizarre, I'm not going to lie. We're going to bring our hands into fists, bring them down next to our hips. And as we inhale, we try to lift our body up. It might be a tiny little motion. You might barely come off the ground and that's totally normal. And then exhale down. So if your arms are longer, you can try to do it on the palms of your hands instead. I actually find it most comfortable to kind of bend my hands in half and go like this. Whatever works for you, basically. And if this is really not making your wrists happy or really doesn't feel good, I encourage you to just keep your hands by your side, take breaks, or just envision yourself doing it. We're only here for a minute. And we're going to inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. So again, we're here just a minute. No, just the hands.
What?
Okay, here's another.
Sorry.
No,
Amazed.
here's another alternative actually.
Oh.
You could bring the blocks here and just inhale up, exhale down. It might not have the exact same effect on the shoulders. It's supposed to open the shoulders, but I think it's a good place to start. So we can start there too. And actually the traditional exercise calls for holding yourself up for the whole time, but I think up and down is fine, unless you feel good holding yourself up the whole time. So we'll begin now. We're really not here very long. Again, stop whenever you need to. I invite you to close your eyes. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Everyone's doing great. Yeah, the main idea here is not how high you lift yourself up, it's just keeping the length in the spine and keeping the intention of lifting. Okay, on next time you lift yourself up, hold your breath in, hold yourself up for just a moment, and exhale, release. Okay. So, from there, coming to a rather interesting one, you may or may not want to prop your hips up again for this. You might have to go a little bit back and forth with that in this practice. So from here, we are raising our hands above our heads. We're going like this. And then they're coming together, almost clapping, like almost touching at the chest, but not quite. So we're going, and the breath tends to self-regulate. So just watch what your breath does naturally when you do this, through the nose. So this is the motion. We'll close our eyes and just continue this motion here for about a minute. We're making big circles. We're creating a vortex of energy in the heart space. This movement is all about freedom of expression, creative movement, and the freedom to come really close without making contact. Everyone's doing beautifully. We're only here about 15 more seconds. You can go any pace you like. And next time your hands are up above your head, inhale deeply. Hold the breath. And exhale, release. You can sweep your arms down next to your sides. Okay. We'll just remain here for one moment, observing anything, any feelings that have come up, any sensations. And now this is a really, really brief return to exercise number 1, so try not to worry about it. Exercise number 1 being, you can use the blocks or not. We're doing this for about 20 seconds. We're not going to return again after this, but another 20 seconds of inhaling up, exhaling down. Eyes closed. Any pace that feels good. Maybe you'll go a little faster this time, whatever works. Okay, again, on your next time you're up, hold the breath in, hold, 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 and exhale, release. Okay, great job, everyone. Okay, So now, you may or may not want to bring that bolster under your butt again. Anything where we're sitting statically, I find it helpful for me, but obviously it gets in the way if you're lifting your butt off the ground. So if you need to shake your legs up for a second, do so. You can switch the cross of your legs. The next part, we're going to be bringing our hands out in front of us parallel, and the ring finger and pinky finger are curled in onto our palms, like so. And the other fingers, the thumbs and the other two fingers, are straight out. And what we're doing is we're inhaling up, exhaling parallel. Inhaling up, exhale parallel. This is the motion, so I invite you to close your eyes. We're here only under a minute. It's a forceful, rapid motion, but only go as fast as you're comfortable with. Through the nose. Going. If you need to take a pause, pause. Whenever you pause any exercise, you can continue to envision yourself doing it. There's power in the intention, believe it or not. It can have an effect. Now, bring the hands up, inhale. Deeply, hold the breath in, and as we're holding the breath, we're going to squeeze root lock. For those of you who haven't done that, it's very simple. Just it involves squeezing the muscles of the anus, sex organs, and navel center all at once. This may sound weird or too much. You can exhale now. Sorry. I'll give you a quick little, I'll show you how to do this just really quickly now. So it might come up again during the practice. It will come up once more during the practice. So it just involves, you might have to, if you're not used to it, it's just an intuitive thing at first where you try to contract the muscles of anus, sex organs, and navel center all at once, just a little. Lightly, it does not have to be an intense squeeze at all. And this is just one of many ways we use in Kundalini to push the energy upwards from lower energy centers to higher energy centers, connecting our heart with our sensuality, connecting, all the energy centers to make a more cohesive whole and not to become as susceptible to imbalances of various kinds. So it's about pushing the energy up. Okay, so a next exercise is quite easy, kind of fun. You bring your hands into fists, and we're just going to revolve them around each other in front of the heart center as fast as possible. You can breathe long and deep, but revolve the fists as fast as possible. Eyes are closed. We're here less than a minute. This exercise helps to coordinate and balance out the two hemispheres of our brain. Yeah. Just a few more seconds. Everyone's doing great. And still your fists just right in front of you. Inhale deeply. Hold the breath in. And exhale. Now the inhales that we hold at the end of each exercise, or almost every exercise, are about helping to integrate the effects of each exercise that we do. So the next one, you may or may not need your blocks for this. I'll show you the exercise first. So we're going to grab opposite elbows. This is a mudra or hand gesture, arm gesture. We're going to bring this lock up behind the head to whatever extent possible. Don't push if it hurts or anything. Go as far as you're comfortable. And this is the inhale position. And then the exhale is, if it's accessible to you, you come down to the ground If not, you just come down as much as you're comfortable. So you might just come down here. You might not even need a block, whatever's comfortable. If you want to come down a bit further, but you can't come all the way down, you could do something like this. Bring your forehead here. Inhale up, exhale down. Now for this, we're here for 2 minutes. So do what feels comfortable to you. Pause when needed. Go at your own pace. Okay, we're here just under 2 minutes now. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Have just 30 seconds left. Everyone's doing really great. Okay, next time your hands are up, inhale deeply, hold the breath in, and squeeze root lock, anus, sex organs, and navel center. Just lightly contract. Hold the breath, and exhale through the nose. Relax everything. Sweep your arms down. Okay, I'm just going to stay here for just a moment. Feeling, observing. You can shake your legs out for a moment if you need. We're almost done in our seated positions, but there's a couple more things. Okay. Might want to switch the cross. So come back to a comfy seated position. And now for the next minute, we're just going to sit comfortably and close the eyes and just be with ourselves. Reflect, observe, observe anything that's come up for you thus far, just focus on your breath, the inflow and outflow through your nostrils. Just sit with a straight spine, tuck your chin slightly, and be here in this moment for the next minute. This time is yours. You might focus at your third eye point. Helps to have a focus. And now slowly fluttering your eyes open, coming back to the room again. We're going to do our last seated position now. This involves bringing our hands into prayer pose, bringing them above the head. And the idea here is to keep the elbows as straight as possible, to whatever extent that's accessible to you. And we're going to inhale to the left, exhale to the right, kind of like a pendulum or a tree swaying in the wind. So again, I invite you to close your eyes here. We're here for 2 minutes this time. And you might pretend that you're a tree swaying in the wind, and in spite of all the changes and the shifting winds and the weather, you're rooted. You're rooted and you're protected at your own pace. Everyone's doing really beautifully. We're over halfway there, just about 40 seconds left. Bringing your hands to center overhead. Inhale deeply and hold. And exhale as you sweep your arms down. Okay. Now for the last actual active element of this Kriya, we're gonna come off our cushions and ease our way down onto our backs. Might be a relief. And so for this one, you're going to keep your feet on the floor with your knees bent up. Hands are by the sides. And we're going to basically do some hip lifts. So on the inhale, we're lifting the hips up like this to whatever extent feels comfortable. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. And we're going to be here for 2 minutes also. So go at your own pace. And again, stop if you need to. And close your eyes. This is a great exercise for stimulating the kidneys, the ovaries, and the pelvic area in general. Everyone's doing really great. Got 30 more seconds. Now, next time you're up in the up position, inhale deeply and hold the breath in. Hold, hold, hold. One last little challenge. And exhale, slowly bringing yourself down. Okay. From here, I invite you to put your legs out long and come into a full supine position. We're going to now enter directly into a few minutes of relaxation. So, and first, before you go for straight relaxation mode, I'd like to invite you to take a deep inhale, and as you do so, hold the breath in, clench your fists, and clench every single muscle in your body really, really, really tight. We're going to remind ourselves what tension is for a moment, holding, 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 in order to then relax fully. So now exhale, release everything. Let your body now melt into the ground. Breathe naturally. Feel supported by the ground below you. And let your body sink towards the floor. Let your hands and feet fall away from your body. Just relax. If your mind wanders, which it will, bring it back to the inflow and outflow of breath, sensation of the air coming from your nostrils, hitting your upper lip. slowly bring back a little movement to your fingers and your toes. Make circles with your ankles and your wrists. Bring your knees up and hug them to your chest. Give yourself a little hug. And you might rock left to right there and give yourself a little back massage, a little lower back. And then we bring both your knees to the right and bring your arms out in a T to give yourself a little stretch, like a little twist stretch, facing the opposite direction with your face. Take a deep breath there and then switch sides, do the same thing on the opposite side, bringing your knees to the right. Take a deep breath there and then come back to center as you're ready. You might stretch your arms up overhead, have a good full body stretch. And then you can slowly come back up to seated either by rocking up on your spine or by coming onto a fetal position on your side and pushing your way back up. Okay. Good morning. Okay. Now we've come to the point in the class where we're going to do a little meditation to close out the practice. Today's meditation is a simple breathwork meditation. So everyone can once again find a way to sit comfortably just for a few minutes. It could also be in rock pose, as I've mentioned before, on the heels, if ever that's more comfortable. And so there's a mudra, there's no mantra today, there's breath work and there's a mudra, which is another word for hand gesture, in case that's not clear. So the mudra is bringing our fingers all touching tip to tip, including the thumbs, in front of the heart space. A little bit out, but in front of the heart space. And so we're holding this here, we're holding space at our heart space. And the breath is, well, we're closing our eyes, first of all. We're closing our eyes almost entirely, but then we're trying to keep them just a little bit open and gaze at the tip of the nose. There's no need to try and cross your eyes or anything like that. It might seem difficult at first, but if you just close your eyes almost entirely and catch just a tiny glimpse of the tip of your nose, you're doing the right thing. Do your best, and if the gaze falls away while you're doing this, it's not a big deal. You can just come back to it. And while we're doing that, we're inhaling to a count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 through the nose, holding that breath for a count of 5. So holding it in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then exhaling to a count of 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, inhaling to a count of 5, holding for a count of 5, exhaling for a count of 5. So I'm going to let everyone count in their own time here. Eyes are closed, focused on the tip of the nose. And we're doing 5 in, 5 holding, 5 out. And we'll begin now. We're here for about 3 minutes. This is a meditation for clearing emotions of the past. inhaling deeply now as we continue to hold space in front of the heart with our hands. Inhale, hold the breath in. And exhale, slowly. You can bring the hands back down to the knees. Just stay here for a moment now. Try not to move for just a moment. Stay totally still and observe. Okay. So now we're going to close out today's practice. To close out Kundalini yoga practices, we generally use the mantra Sat Nam, which can be translated to mean truth is my name, or I am truth, or truth is my essence, truth is my identity. And it's all about holding yourself up to any truth that may have arisen for you during the practice. Not in judgment or in any kind of good or bad kind of way, perception, but just as a way of rising to meet your own truth as it's happened for you during the practice today. So we're going to rub our hands together just a moment. Bring fingers to chest bone. Sit up straight. Tuck the chin just a little. And close your eyes. And now envision a ball of white light at the base of your spine. And as you inhale, move that ball of light all the way up your spine, all the way to the crown of your head, the top of your head. And then exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. And now on the third inhale, we're going to chant one long Sat, short Nam, and we're going to do it 3 times today. So inhale. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Bring your thumbs up to your third eye point. And I'm going to give a little bow in reverence to our own practice. If it's accessible to you, you can also bring your palms and your forehead down to the ground. Otherwise, a little bow will suffice. Just acknowledge yourself and your experience today. And as you feel called to come back up, do so, but there's no rush. Welcome back, everyone.